Protection and Occupational Safety. In 2012, he joined the Government Labor Department as an assistant director. Currently, he serves as Director of Public Safety and has also moved to the factory inspector. His role involves enforcing the provision of Factories Act and rules and we are fortunate to have with us today to share his valuable insights and expertise. Today, Sir is going to enlighten session on Environmental Protection Act. Let us warmly welcome to Mr. Keshav Kendre, sir. Over to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Now you can please start your session, sir.
Thank you,
I'll
sir.
stop.
Thank you, ma'am, for introducing me. Uh, I would like to thank the DYPT Department and Chemical Engineering Department for inviting me to give my lectures or knowledge to share with your audience or participant on the Environmental Protection Act. I would like to thank a lot to the all the members who have contributed in organizing this today's lecture. Today we are, as sir has already told, we are going to discuss on the Environmental Protection Act 1986. Okay, just before starting this lecture, I would like to play the one prayer. So just I will start this prayer. Am I
Yes,
audible
sir.
to all?
Yes, sir. Perfect. Perfect. You
Thank you.
can
Thank you.
share your screen. You can play the prayer,
Okay.
whatever you feel like. Yes, you can start.
Om.
Sir, your screen is visible, but it is mirrored. You can stop presenting. Kindly stop presenting. Again, go to the presentation tab. Now it is okay. You can say you can now play your video, sir. Fine. Please increase the audio of your laptop, sir. Sir, your video is not audible. Kindly increase the volume of your laptop from the YouTube screen. Yes, here from the YouTube screen you increase the volume.
Sir, while sharing screen, please
Ah,
enable audio. Please enable audio while sharing
okay.
screen.
Not audible, sir.
Om.
Sir, you want me
Audible.
to present?
Huh?
Sir, you want me to share it?
You can share it.
Yes, sir. Just you please stop sharing.
Okay, करते हैं.
Just hold on, sir. Just hold on, please. Hold on, please. Is it audible, sir? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Wait, wait.
इतनी शक्ति
Sir,
हमें
your mic is moving. If
देना
you want to say
Take full
something, your
screen.
mic
दाता
is.
Right.
मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना हम चले नेक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना हम चले नेक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना दूर अज्ञान के हो अंधेरे तू हमें ज्ञान की रोशनी दे हर बुराई से बचते रहे हम जितनी भी दे भरी जिंदगी दे बैर होना किसी का किसी से भावना मन में बदले की होना हम चले नेक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना हम ना सोचे हमें क्या मिला है हम ये सोचे किया क्या है अर्पण फूल खुशियों के बाटे सभी को सबका जीवन ही बन जाए मधुबन अपनी करुणा कर तू बहा के कर दे पावन हर एक मन का कोना हम चले नेक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना
Thank you, Shailesh ji, for playing this prayer.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
was
sir.
unable to do that. Okay. Now we will
Yes.
start with the presentation.
Yes, sir.
I will share the screen just.
Yes, sir. not visible, sir.
Just a minute. Wait for 2 minutes.
Yes,
Am
yes.
is screen
Yes.
visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure,
Am I
sure.
audible also?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for your patience and just for 5 minutes. Okay. Now we'll start with our main topics. That is Environmental Protection Act 1986, a step toward the sustainable future. Protecting the environments for future generation. Friends, actually, as we are a very lucky person because our ancestor have forwarded this nature's resources to us. So it is also our responsibility to preserve these resources and forward to our next generation so that they will also enjoy this environment, a clean environment. Okay. मतलब आप जैसा हम लोगों ने ऐसा अभी एंजॉय किया है वैसा ही सेम नेचर्स अर्थ ने जो रिसोर्सेस है उसे हमको फॉरवर्ड करना है. So that is one point important. Now you might be seeing this picture. आप लोग बोलते रहेंगे कि ये इन्वायरमेंटल प्रोटेक्शन का लेक्चर है, लेकिन ये जो फोटोज मैंने दिखा है ये सब गंदगी फैली हुई है, जिधर जिधर नाला है ये सब कचरे से भरा हुआ है, पोल्यूटेड रिवर दिख रहा है. So rivers are converted into the gutters and this thing. So इसका एक यही मेन मकसद है या एम है कि एक्चुअल दिस इज द रियलिटी, वी शुड एक्सेप्ट द रियलिटी. ये हमें पता है कि ये दिस फोटोज आर नॉट गिविंग गुड वाइब्रेशन टू ऑल ऑफ अस, हमें ये फोटो पसंद भी नहीं आते, लेकिन दिस इज द एक्चुअल द फैक्ट वी शुड एक्सेप्ट. ये आजकल हम लोग सब देखते हैं जहाँ भी सिटीज में या अर्बन एरिया में है तो इतना कचरा जमा हुआ है, छोटे छोटे रिवर्स है, ओशंस है, बीचेस है, सब पोल्यूटेड हुए हैं. तो इसी रीजन से मैंने देखा मतलब ये लगा है. अभी नेक्स्ट हमें क्या चाहिए इसका मैं फोटो दिखाता हूँ तो आपको सबको अच्छा लगेगा. एक्चुअली दिस इज व्हाट वी आर लुकिंग फॉर. मतलब हम लोगों को ऐसा इन्वायरमेंट चाहिए जो आपने को कंफर्टेबल लगे, दैट विल गिव द गुड वाइब्रेशन टू अस आल्सो. सो दिस इज व्हाट वी आर एमिंग फॉर. नाउ in the next part we are going to see the some of the provision related to the environment which are given in our constitution. Okay, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar has given the constitution to our nations after independence, and at that time also they have thought about the environment, to protect about the environment. So first, in India the environmental protection is embedded in the constitution through various provisions that emphasize the need to safeguard the environment, promote sustainable development, and ensure right to healthy environment. Okay, here are the key constitutional provisions related to environmental protection. मतलब constitution में क्या क्या provisions दिया है? First is the DPSP. You might have heard about the directive principle of state policy. ये जो constitution है अपना constitution 1972 में 42 सेकंड अमेंडमेंट एक्ट के तरह से अमेंडमेंट हुआ था. उस अमेंडमेंट के टाइम पे ये जो आर्टिकल 48 ये जो इंक्लूड किया था अपना कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में, दिस आर्टिकल डायरेक्ट द स्टेट टू प्रोटेक्ट एंड इम्प्रूव द इन्वायरमेंट एंड सेफगार्ड द फॉरेस्ट एंड वाइल्ड लाइफ ऑफ द कंट्रीज. मतलब इसका जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में लैंग्वेज क्या है, द स्टेट शैल एंडेवर टू प्रोटेक्ट एंड इम्प्रूव द इन्वायरमेंट एंड सेफगार्ड द फॉरेस्ट एंड वाइल्ड लाइफ ऑफ द कंट्री. ये जो आर्टिकल 48 ए जो है वो स्टेट्स को कुछ गाइडलाइंस देता है या डायरेक्शन देता है किसी की वजह से, मतलब किस चीज के लिए गाइडलाइन देता है, टू इम्प्रूव अवर इन्वायरमेंट, मतलब पर्यावरण में अपने को सुधार ना करना है, सेफ गार्ड द फॉरेस्ट का जो डिफॉरेस्टेशन हो रहा है उसी को कम करना है, और टू प्रोटेक्ट द वाइल्ड लाइफ ऑफ द कंट्री. नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल जो है फ्रेंड, दैट इज 51 AG. दिस आर्टिकल imposes a fundamental duty on every citizen to protect and improve the natural environment including forest, lakes, rivers and wildlife. ये जो आर्टिकल 51 AG है फ्रेंड, इसमें कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में जो सिटीजन्स का है फंडामेंटल ड्यूटी दिया है. जैसा हर एक को अपना 5 या 6 फंडामेंटल राइट्स है, उसी तरह से अपना कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज दिया है. उसमें क्या मतलब कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन क्या अपने से एक्सपेक्ट करता है, इट शैल बी द ड्यूटी ऑफ एवरी सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया टू प्रोटेक्ट एंड इम्प्रूव द नेचुरल इन्वायरमेंट इंक्लूडिंग फॉरेस्ट, लेक्स, रिवर्स, वाइल्ड लाइफ एंड टू हैव द कंपैशन फॉर लिविंग क्रिएचर. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि ये धरती पे सिर्फ ह्यूमन ही लोग रहते हैं, मतलब इसमें जो लिविंग क्रिएचर और अदर लिविंग क्रिएचर दोज आर नॉट एबल टू स्पीक, सो उसके लिए भी हमें कंपैशन दिखाना है. तो इसके लिए ये आर्टिकल 51 AG जो कहता है कि ये फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज अपना क्या है, उसके बाद
Participants kindly wait because of some technical error. Sir has got exited from the meeting. He's going to share the PPT and he's going to start over. Sorry for the disturbance. Yes, sir. Sir, you are visible now. You kindly share your screen. Yes, sir. Sir has joined. He's going to share his PPT again. Yes, your screen is visible now, sir. Yes, slide number 5. Fine, sir. Fine. You are mute, sir. Sir, you are mute. Sir, you are mute. Take out your mute. Fine. Now you please.
Audible now?
Yes, sir. Perfect. Now,
Actually, sorry,
yes, full
sorry for
screen.
interruption.
Sir, full
Just,
screen, please. Sir, please, full screen.
so slide number 4, na?
And full screen. I want full screen.
Okay, okay, 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay,
Perfect, sir. Perfect.
okay. Actually, I was discussing about the Article 253.
Yes, sir.
We have completed, listen about up to point number 2, fundamental rights.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now Article 253, that is the
Perfect.
यूनियन एंड स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव पावर, इसमें सेंट्रल पार्लियामेंट को कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में पावर दिया हुआ है. अगर कोई इश्यूज इन्वायरमेंट का अराइज होता है और जो इफ सपोज दैट इशू इज इन द जुरिडिक्शन ऑफ द स्टेट, स्टिल द पार्लियामेंट कैन एनेक्ट द लॉ, ओके, फॉर गिविंग द इफेक्ट टू द इंटरनेशनल एग्रीमेंट और ट्रीटीज. उसमें जो लास्ट नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है ये रीट जुरिडिक्शन. ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट और मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है रीट जुरिडिक्शन का. उसमें हर एक सिटीजन को कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में अंडर आर्टिकल 32 we can directly approach to the Supreme Court, or under Article 226 we can directly approach to the High Court for the enforcement of their fundamental rights. Environmental protection issues can be raised through the public interest litigation. PIL भी हम फाइल कर सकते हैं डायरेक्टली कोर्ट में. और कोर्ट कैन हैव courts have used this power to issue the direction for environmental protection such as air pollution control, forest conservation and wildlife protection. मतलब sumoto court can also issue the guideline or orders. Okay. Am I audible, Shailesh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. So just now we have completed these 4 points. These points are mainly important because the environment has given the most important in our constitution also. So these are the various different articles where the environmental environmental is related matters are, or our powers are given. Okay. Now next we will see the introduction about this just about the lectures on Environmental Protection Act. So the period of 1970, मतलब जो 1970 का जो दशक था उसमें ग्लोबली इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन ग्रोथ बहुत ज़्यादा हो रहा था, और जैसा जैसा ग्रोथ हो रहा था वैसा ही डिग्रेडेशन ऑफ द इन्वायरमेंट वाज टेकिंग एट द सेम रेट. सो पूरा ग्लोबल में ऐसा एक द नीड वाज फेल्ड फॉर अ कंबाइंड एफर्ट टुवर्ड द इन्वायरमेंटल कंजर्वेशन फ्रॉम ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड. मतलब 1970 में जो इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन ग्रोथ हुआ था कई डेवलप कंट्रीज में, तो ओवरऑल सब कंट्रीज को ऐसा फील नीड फेल्ड हुआ कि वी शुड हैव अ कंबाइंड एफर्ट टुवर्ड द इन्वायरमेंटल कंजर्वेशन फ्रॉम ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड. तो इसी रीजन से द रिजल्ट ऑफ द कंबाइंड एफर्ट वाज द यूनाइटेड नेशन कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑन द ह्यूमन एनवायरनमेंट, which is called as the Stockholm Conference 1972, which took place from 15 to 16 June 1972. मतलब ये एक मेन इवेंट हुआ था इंटरनेशनली पूरा कंट्रीज में, जिसमें करीबन 114 डेलीगेट पार्ट किया था, और आवर लेट प्राइम मिनिस्टर इंदिरा गांधी आल्सो टेकन अ पार्ट इन दिस कॉन्फ्रेंस. which is also called as the most foundation of the environmental protection all over the world, or given a direction to the environmental protection. इसके बाद एक बहुत ही हादसा हुआ था बड़ा, जिसको हम डेट नाइट कहते हैं, दैट इज भोपाल गैस ट्रेजेडी विच टुक प्लेस ऑन द 2nd और 3rd December 1984. तो उसी के रीजन से भी बहुत ही एक अर्जेंट लेजिस्लेशन in the field of the environmental was required. In this background, the Parliament passed the Environmental Protection Act 1986 and Environmental Protection Rule 1986. मतलब ये जो दो इम्पोर्टेंट इवेंट हुए थे, जो फर्स्ट वाज द स्टॉकहोम कॉन्फ्रेंस एंड नेक्स्ट वाज द भोपाल गैस ट्रेजेडी, ये दो ही मेन इम्पोर्टेंट रीजन है, इसी वजह से जो एनवायरमेंटल प्रोटेक्शन.
Sir, sorry to disturb you.
हाँ,
Sorry to disturb you. Some participants are from the states wherein Hindi is not spoken. So I request you to kindly continue only in English.
okay, no issue, okay.
Okay, sorry participants.
Okay. Okay. Now, these two were the most important event. First was the Stockholm Conference, and next was the Bhopal gas tragedy. These were the main two reasons for the enactment of this Environmental Protection Act 1986 and Environmental Rule. So, as we have discussed, under the Article 253, the Indian Constitution gives the power to make the rules, make the laws to implement the international agreement. We have signed the international agreement of the Stockholm Conference, and to give the effect of that international agreement, our Indian government has passed the Environmental Protection Act 1986 and rules. Okay. Now we will just discuss about the Stockholm Conference. The Stockholm Conference 1972 was held from 5th to 16th June 1972 by the United Nations Conference on the Human Environment. The focus of this conference was the state of global environment and relationship between the economic, science, and environmental in political context. The emphasis was on solving the environmental problem, but without ignoring the social, economic, and development policy factor. India played a very significant contributory role in this conference. The conference laid the foundation of the environmental legislation in India. The conference was attended by 113 delegates from all over the world, from the different countries. Okay, we'll just discuss about the outcome of this conference, Stockholm Declaration. First was the conference resulted in the Stockholm Declaration, a series of principles related to the environmental sustainability, human rights, and the need for environmental protection. The next outcome was the action plan for the human environment. The conference produced a detailed plan for the international actions to tackle the environmental problem, emphasizing the importance of sustainable development. And so, the next was the establishment of United Nations Environmental Program. One of the major outcomes was the creation of the UNEP, that is United Nations Environmental Program, which continues to play a leading role in coordinating the global environmental efforts. Now, as we have discussed, there were 26 principles from the Stockholm Declaration. Just we will see the one by one. The first was the natural resources must be safeguarded. As the natural resources we were getting depleted, the need was to safeguard the natural resources was failed, and this first principle was mentioned in the Stockholm Conference, that is to safeguard the natural resources. The second was the earth capacity to produce the renewable resources must be maintained. Matlab, whatever the renewable resources the earth is producing, that it takes a generation to generation, or maybe 1 century to generate the renewable resources. So for that earth capacity to produce renewable resources must be maintained. The wildlife must be safeguarded, as we have seen the deforestation, because of which some of the important species of the wildlife was getting endangered or extincted from this earth surface. So need was felt to safeguard the wildlife. Then non-renewable resources, such as we can see the fossil fuel or natural gases, need was felt to minimize the wastage of these renewable natural resources, and to preserve for the renewable sources also. then pollution must not exceed the environmental capacity to clean itself. मतलब there is an ecosystem where the automatically the pollutions or the earth maintain the environment in a clean state if we do not pollute beyond some certain extent. Then damaging ocean pollution must be prevented. As you might have seen, the oceans are getting polluted. So the need was failed to prevent the ocean pollutions. The next was the development is needed to improve the environment. मतलब जो the development was necessary in the industrial growth as we are improving on the industrialization, we should not neglect towards the environment. So developing countries therefore need assistance. The countries which are developed, they should provide the assistance to the developing countries. That was the next principle. Then principle number 10, developing countries need reasonable prices for export to carry out the environmental management. Environment policy must not hamper the development. मतलब as we are going to make the action plan and implement the environmental policies, that should also not hamper the development. The developing countries need money to develop the environmental safeguard. Then next, integrated development planning is needed. Rational planning should resolve the conflict between environmental and development. Human settlement must be planned to eliminate the environmental protection problem. Government should plan their own appropriate population policies. See, this population was the major reasons for environmental pollution also. So that principle was also mentioned in this declaration that each and every government means a country should plan the population growth. The national institution must plan the development of states' natural resources. Science and technology must be used to improve the environment. Environmental education is essential. As friend, we know that there is a very poor awareness among the people. So because of their poor awareness, so our people's behaving very this thing means irresponsibility, and because of that the education on the environment was felt very necessary. So that was the reason you might be seeing that nowadays environmental topic has been included in the standard below fourth also. The environmental research must be promoted. The promotion is necessary on the environmental research. Then state may exploit their resources as they wish, but must not endanger other. As some states are enriched in the natural resources, they are able to freely exploit or use that natural resources, but care must be taken so that others will be not hampered. The compensation is due to the states thus endangered. If suppose some countries or some states cause damage to the environment, then compensation has to be given by the same. Each nation must establish its own standard, as it is a there is a biodiversity on this earth. So depending on the status or particular condition of that country, that nation should establish their own standard. There must be cooperation on international issues, and the international organization should help to improve the environment. Weapon of mass destruction must be eliminated. So these are the 26 principles of the Stockholm Declaration. Okay, just we have seen these are the important principles which we have to use in day-to-day life by each and everyone, because combined efforts are necessary. So this is all about the Stockholm Conference. If suppose anyone want to ask the question, you can ask, please. Huh? It should not happen like that. I am speaking only and you are not just listening.
Yes, sir, you are listening.
Okay, just we will so proceed. Now, just we have discussed about the Stockholm Conference, which was one of the main event for this enactment of the Environmental Protection Act. In the same way, just we will see the important points about the Bhopal gas tragedy. The Bhopal gas tragedy occurred on the night of December 2nd and 3rd, 1984, at Union Carbide India Limited pesticide plant in Bhopal. The gas that leaked was methyl isocyanate, a highly toxic chemical. Death toll: the official number of immediate death was around 2,259, but estimates range was around 4,000 to 10,000. Injuries: more than 500,000 people were injured, including 4,000 with a severe permanent injury. Means some of the people still living in these states, matlab Bhopal around, they are still may have some problem, genetic problems because of that Bhopal gas tragedy. Health effect: survivors have faced the chronic health issues, birth defect, and long-term effect. Environmental impact: the environment was polluted and the ecology was affected. Economical impact: business were interrupted. Groundwater contamination: groundwater was contaminated from unsafe disposal of poisonous waste at the plant. The company involved the reach a settlement with the Indian government through mediation by the Supreme Court. Compensation: in 2008, the government of Madhya Pradesh paid the compensation to the families of victims and injured victims. Matlab before this 1984, there was no provision of fixing the liability. Means if suppose any disaster occur, so who will be liable for the compensation? So that was the main reason why these people, some of the peoples up to 2008 were not able to get the compensation. So after happening of this Bhopal gas tragedy, that Public Liability Insurance Act was enacted, where the liability of the paying the compensation was fixed on the occupier or responsible person of the industry. Okay, these are the main two events which were give ignited, or the Indian government has enacted the Environmental Protection Act. So we will see the Environmental Protection Act 1986. The act came into force on 19th November 1986 and extend to the whole of India. The act was passed to provide for protection and improvement of the environment for matter connected therewith. The act gives certain power to the central government to take the measure for the purpose of protecting and improving the quality of the environment and prevent environmental pollution. This act is called as an umbrella act because several number of the rules were enacted under this act. Now just we will see the key provision of this act. One is the prohibition of pollution. Under this point, no person shall cause or permit any pollution of the environment. Environmental clearance: no person shall undertake any project or activity without obtaining environmental clearance. Matlab if suppose any major industry or many project is coming, so it is now mandatory to obtain the environmental clearance. Then liability for damage, as just we have discussed, any person responsible for environmental damage shall be liable for the compensation. Matlab this just we have discussed. Prohibition and restriction: the act empower the central government to prohibit or restrict the handling, storage, or disposal of hazardous waste. Then environmental standard: the act authorized the central government for laying down the environmental standard for emission and discharge and waste. The next outcome, this key provision was the polluter pays principle. Whoever pollute the environment has to pay the compensation or the damage or fine to the government or whatever we have received the damage. That principle was enacted under this Environmental Protection Act. Then environmental authority, under this Environmental Protection Act 1986, some authorities were established, that is Central Pollution Control Board and State Pollution Control Board at each state to implement the provision of this act. Then public participation. This act encourages the public participation in environmental decision making and provide for public hearing and consultation. As you might be knowing that now before giving the environmental clearance, each and every industry or major project has to give the public hearing. Means they have to publish the notice in a local newspaper, and with the coordination of the collector of that particular district, this public hearing is to be organized, and we have to give the brief description about that project and the whatever the impact are going to take place because of that project. In environmental impact assessment, before starting any activities, it has now become mandatory for the assessment of the environmental impact. this because of that activities of the project, what are the changes going to take place in the environment, that study is mandatory. Then penalties and punishment. Yeah, the provisions regarding the penalties and punishment is given, and if suppose there is any non-compliance of that provision of the act, the provisions of the fine and imprisonment is also given. Now, just we will see the important definition. First is the environment. This environment word has derived from the French word environnia. Environia. Environia means the surrounding, including water, air, and land, and their interrelationship which exists among the between water, air, land, and human being, other living creature, plant, microorganism, and the property. This definition is given in under section 2A. Now this section, another important definition is environmental pollutant. Means any solid, liquid or gaseous substance present in such concentration as may be or tend to injurious to the environment. This definition of the environmental pollutant is given under section 2B. Means you might you might have heard in the a school level that our air has combination or composition of the around 79% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and some impurities gases. If suppose any toxic gases are released in the environment which are able to give the, injury to the environment, then those substances are called as the environmental pollutant. Then next definition is environmental pollution, means the presence of in the environment of any environmental pollutant. The definition is given under section 2C of the Act. Now, just the we will discuss about the role of the government. The under this Environmental Protection Act, the central government is the most powerful under this act. Now, general power to the central government are defined in under section 3. So, what are the power given to the central government? Just we will see. Central government shall take all necessary measures for environmental protection. The central government has the power to take all necessary measures so as to protect the environment. The central government has to coordinate the activities of all the state government regarding this environmental protection. Then central government can lay down the standards for environmental quality and pollutant. Thus, you may see nowadays there are some boards indicating the air qualities at a different roads on the means at different places in cities where the air quality of that particular local area is displayed. So execute the nation-wide program. Central power has to execute the nation's wide program toward the Environmental Protection Act. Then restriction of areas for industries. Means particular type of industry before giving the permission, which type of industry should be given the permission, or which type of industry should be restricted in that particular area. Then in inspecting the industrial premises, the central government is authorized to inspect any industrial premises. Then preparation of manual, code, or guides. Central government has power to prepare the manual, code, or guides which are required for this Environmental Protection Act. The central government may appoint officer and entrust them with such power and function as it may deem fit. Means as this central government, just we are saying central government can delegate their power to the other officers below so as to implement or enforce these provisions of the act. This provision is given under section 4. Now, the central government is empowered to issue the direction to any person, officers, or any authority. This includes the closure direction, means with the power to connect electricity and water supply. Means after the enactment of this Environmental Protection Act, the central government has power to disconnect the electricity or water supply of that particular industry if some non-compliance or contravention is occurred. And nowadays you might be seeing these powers are central government has delegated to the State Pollution Control Board, and the officers appointed under the State Pollution Control Board are having this power to give the order for disconnection of the electricity and water supply. This is the most which is powerful power, or what we can see the important provisions has been made under this Environmental Protection Act to have control over the industry so as to so that they will not pollute the environment, water, land, or air or noise. The central government is empowered to make the rules to regulate the environmental pollution on the following matter. This is given in under section 6. The standard of quality of air, water, or soil, the maximum allowable limit of pollutant, the procedure for handling of hazardous substance, the prohibition and restriction on the location of the industries, the procedure and safeguard for the prevention of accident. Next we will see now the prevention, control, and abatement of the environmental pollution under Environmental Protection Act 1986. No person or industry is allowed to pollute the environment. This provision is given under section 7. The procedure and process are laid down to control the pollution under section 99. The monitoring authority can carry out the inspection. Since this central government or state pollution control board or the officers appointed under this act can do the carry out the inspection of that particular industry to see their compliance or provisions of the compliance of the provision given under this Environmental Protection Act. Power to take the sample, also the procedure of how to take the samples. If suppose some officer goes inside for the inspection, and see if suppose that officer want to take the sample, so the process detailed procedure is described under this section 11. Is whatever the samples we want to that officer want to take, that sample shall be divided into two parts. One part sample part shall be given to that particular industry, and then other parts he can take with him. Then that samples or whatever the bottles where in which the sample is collected should be signed by the representative of the industry also, and then officer. And that samples had be tested in the environmental laboratory, which are authorized by the government. This Minister of Environment and Forest has given the authorization to the environmental laboratories where the samples shall be tested. Okay. Then stringent penalties and punishments are given under this Environmental Protection Act. Whoever contravene the provision of the Act, maximum punishment up to 7 years and penalty up to rupees 1 lakh or 5,000 per day for continuous offense. If suppose some offense or contravention has been observed by the officer and he has served a notice on that particular industry, and that contravention is continuous, then fine of rupees 5,000 per day can be imposed on that for that particular industry. Okay, for the defaulter companies or body corporate, director or partners are prosecuted. Means the top management are held responsible, and for that contribution they can be prosecuted under this Environmental Protection Act for the contravention of the provision. The act is also applicable to the government department, and HOD is prosecuted. Means it is not like that only this act provisions are applicable to the private industry. Means some of the PSU or government industry, they also comes under the jurisdiction of this act, and the provisions are applicable to the this central government or government department industries also. This provision is mentioned under section 17. As we have I have said, this is called as the umbrella legislation. Means there are several rules laid down under this Environmental Protection Act. Few of the important rules are Environmental Protection Rule 1986, Hazardous Waste Rule 1989, now it is called as 2016 amendment, Biomedical Waste Rule 1998, now also amendment 2016, Municipal Solid Waste Rule 2000, Noise Pollution Rule 2000, Ozone Depleting Substance Rule 2000, Battery Waste Management Rule 2001, now it has become 2016, Plastic Waste Rules 2011, and Electronic Waste Rules 2011. As means the development has taken place, the quantity of the electronic waste generation has been taken place from means it increased from last 20-30 years. So this electronic waste rules was enacted before under this Environmental Protection Act. Now, what are the rules given in the Environmental Protection Rule? Air pollution control regulation to control the emission from industry, vehicle, and other sources. Means the air pollution rules are applicable to the industry as well as vehicle, because the number of the vehicle have increased in a huge number, and which are also responsible for creating the pollution. So the air pollution controls rules are applicable to the industries, vehicle, and other sources. Then water pollution control rules to prevent the pollution of water bodies, including river, lakes, and groundwater. Then waste management guideline for managing the hazardous and non-hazardous, including the plastic waste. Noise pollution control regulating to limit the noise level from industries, construction, and other sources. Then biodiversity conservation rule to protect the endangered species, forest, and wildlife habitat. Environmental impact assessment, we have discussed requirement for assessing the environmental impact assessment for new project and activities. Okay. Some specific rules and regulation in India include the Environmental Protection Rule 1986, the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981, Water Pollution Control and Control of Pollution Act 1974, Wildlife Protection Act 1972, the Forest Conservation Act 1980. Now, just we have discussed about the key provisions which are given under the Environmental Protection Act 1986. Also, we have discussed about the different rules which are enacted under this Environmental Protection Act 1986. Now, just we will see the roles of the citizen. As a citizen, what roles has been given to us, because we should not blame to the other, because as a whole country or a world, each and every citizen, we also should have means we are responsible for this degradation of the environment. So it is our duties also to give our contribution toward the protection of the environment. The first provision or our role is right to information. When citizen have the right to information on the environmental issues. Also, as per the ATAL Act 2005, the number of applications are means given by the different ATAL means NGOs and citizens to get the information about different issues on the environment or other issues also. In the same way, the provision under this environmental protection has been given that each and every citizen have right to get the information about the environmental issues. Then public participation, citizen can participate in environmental decision making process, as just we have discussed about the public hearing. Means if suppose any major project comes under in our local areas, then it is mandatory to give the public hearing. Means people residing around that district or local areas should also know which type of project is coming in our area, means what type of raw material or they are going to handle, what type of product they are going to produce, what type of hazard are lying with that particular raw material or product. So that public hearing is important, and this under this public hearing provision, we can also as a citizen we can take the part in the environmental decision making process. Then next point is the environmental education, as also we have discussed that awareness is most important part, because unless and until it comes from our inner side, we are not going to improve. So for that, coming from inside, the environmental awareness and education is very, very important. So citizen can promote the environmental awareness, and we can give the education from the school level also. So that is one of the reason recently we have seen that some environmental topic is added in the school level for the student also. Then next is the reduce, reuse, and recycle. Means the 3R policy, where is this in our daily life also we can minimize the waste and reduce the carbon footprint, because the reduce, reuse, and recycle principle is most important principle for the protection of environmental, where we can reduce the use of natural resources, we can reuse the some product, or we can recycle. Means that whatever the waste nowadays are collected back, means the plastic waste or water bottles, and all these are taken back and then recycling is carried out. So by that, this way we can also contribute toward the protection of the environment. The next is the conserve the water and energy. Take steps to conserve the water and energy by using efficient appliances and turning off taps and lights whenever not in use. Friends, in our daily lives also we can contribute to by taking the small steps, like whenever we do not require the lights, we can switch off the lights. Wherever we are, if suppose we are sitting in the hall, we can switch off the light to of the other rooms. And also in offices also we can implement this point, which can also contribute toward the protection of the environmental protection. So it is said that the just perfection is not small thing, but small things make the perfection. So by that way we can take the small step so that we can achieve our aim of this clean and healthy environment. Then plant trees and support reforestation. Friend, we can also take a part in planting trees. So there are so many these thing means programs are organized during the period of monsoon in the or we many industries or education institute also they celebrate the environmental day 6th June, 5th June. So during that period also we can contribute or by planting trees at our individual level also, and we can try to reforest the reforestation means whatever the trees has been cut, we can also increase the number of trees in our surrounding. Participation in cleanup drives, we can whenever there are some drives are taken by any NGOs or any educational institute or industry, we can also give our active participation so that in the cleanup drive. Then next important point is the use of public transport or carpool. Now you might have seen that the number of vehicles have been increased in last 20 years in a huge number because of the banks means actually earlier the loans were not available to the people. Now the banks are giving the loans. The economic condition of the peoples are also improved. So the number of vehicles have increased in a tremendous number in last 20 years. So wherever it is possible, we can use the public transport or carpool so that we can help in protecting the environment. Then support eco-friendly policies, encourage our local government to implement the eco-friendly policies and support environmental initiatives. We can discuss with our local government. We can adopt this eco-friendly policies or product and support the environmental initiatives. Educate and raise awareness. Also, already we have discussed this point. Spread awareness about the environmental issues and educate the others on importance of the environmental conservation. Reduce plastic use. Avoid single-use plastic and opt for sustainable alternatives such as cloth bag, steel water bottle, and bamboo straw. So you see, just this after this Corona period, we are realizing the importance of the health, means why the clean environment is required, why the this hygienic conditions are required. So after that I have seen so many people where whenever they are going to purchase the vegetables in the market, they are carrying the cloth bag. We can also help by taking such initiative to reduce the pollution or plastic waste by whenever we go to the market to purchase the vegetables. So we can keep one cloth bag with us so that your small steps can help to protect the environment. Then support environmental organization, donate or volunteer with the local environmental organization working on the conservation project. If suppose we are not able to take an active participation, we can donate to the NGOs on these environmental issues. So these are the roles which we can play by taking small steps so that we will contribute toward the protection of the environment. Now, as already I have told
ये
you,
मेरा है
Environmental Protection Act 1986 is called the umbrella legislation. So there are several
यहाँ
notification
पे
issues under this Environmental Protection 19
ये
Act
नहीं है सर
1986. few important notifications are as under: the notification for restricting industries in Doon Valley area 1989, CRZ notification 1991, now it is 2011. The notification for declaration of Dahanu Taluka as a eco-sensitive zone 1991. Notification for declaration of Matheran as a eco-sensitive zone 1992. Notification for declaration of the Mahabaleshwar as an eco-sensitive zone 1993. Notification on fly ash 2000 and EIA notification 2006. So these are the different notification government I have issued or enacted under this Environmental Protection Act 1986. Now, environmental protection rules. These rules lay down the further details for implementation of the act. It provides the standard for emission or discharge. Then next is the procedure laid down for giving direction under section 5 by the central government. Then prohibition and restriction on location based on the proximity of the to human settlement, ancient monument, and biodiversity. Is wherever the biodiversity parks are declared, so the industry government can put a restriction on the certain type of industry not to start their activity in that particular near to that biodiversity park area. Also, wherever these ancient monuments are there, certain types of industries are restricted from that particular area. Then detailed procedure to take the samples, where when any person is filing complaint, format of notice and detail about whom to serve the notice, format of environmental lab report, and format of environmental audit. So means whenever any laboratory gives their report, the format is standard. Okay. Just we will discuss about some certain schedules which are given under the Environmental Protection Rule 1986. Schedule 1 lay down the procedure and standard for 87 different industries. There are different 87 industries are given, like rubber, copper, iron, or certain hazardous industries like battery manufacturing unit, thermal power station, and the different standard which are supposed to be followed by that industries are given under this schedule 1. Then schedule 2 is given for the noise standard, means noise standard means ambient noise, industrial noise, what are the limits for noise level in that particular area are given under the schedule 2. Then schedule 3 is for standard for motor vehicle, means emission level from the emission of the vehicle, are given under the schedule 3. And schedule 4 is given for the general standard for effluent, inland surface, public sewer, land of irrigation, and marine coastal areas. Okay, till now we have discussed all the details about the Environmental Protection Act 1986. So just we will discuss the silent feature, whatever we have discussed just now. The act deals with the criminal jurisdiction. The central government is most powerful under this act. Environmental labs are established by or authorized by the central government, state government, CPC or CB or state CBCB. Standards are laid down by central government, state government, CPCB or state PCB. The stringent penalties and punishments are given under this act. Person having the highest authority is prosecuted. Hazardous waste are defined and special procedure is laid down. Local standing is relaxed. Any person can file a case. Act is also applicable to the government department, and this is an umbrella legislation. Please mute some noise in the background. Hello.
Please mute your mic.
Just 5 minutes are remain. Please mute whoever has unmuted. Hello. Just we will see the most important provisions under this Environmental Protection Act, National Green Tribunal. National Green Tribunal is the special authority or special court which is enacted by the National Green Tribunal Act 2010. This National Green Tribunal are this Green Tribunal is having the jurisdiction of the all the Environmental Protection Act and rules, and all the cases under these environmental rules are tried in the National Green Tribunal. On the trial basis, this National Green Tribunal has offices at 5 places. First, his head office at Delhi, then one at Bhopal, Chennai, Kolkata, and Pune. And all the National Green Tribunals, National Green Tribunal offices have the jurisdiction of the different environmental rules. Okay. The chairperson of this National Green Tribunal is appointed by the central government in consultation with the Chief Justice of India. And this court does not follow the detailed procedure of the criminal procedure code, but it acts as per the procedure established in this act. Then it includes the members of from starting from 10 to 20 members are members in the National Green Tribunal, and some members are expertise in the environmental laws, and some are judiciary member. Okay, now just we will see the amendment which are taken place in the Environmental Act 1986.
Sir, kindly see somebody is talking, keeping their mic on, please.
Also, hello. Hello.
Sir, admin, sir, please switch off those mics.
Yes, sir, yes.
Acha,
All
increase it
participants are requested to mute it.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you can continue, sir.
Am I
Yes, sir.
audible?
Yes, sir, you are
Just,
audible.
5 minutes are remain. Just we will finish it. Huh?
Yes, sir, yes, sir. Yes.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Sir, we can't hear you properly, sir.
Okay. Just wait a minute. Just
some
we will see the
disturbances are
screen is
there.
visible.
Visible, audible, but someone has put the
Sir, please continue.
Keshav sir, just unmute yourself and you can start. We have just muted all.
Keshav sir, please unmute. Please unmute, Keshav sir. Participants, kindly wait.
Just a minute. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Please hold on. I am sharing my screen.
Yes,
okay.
visible.
Just
visible.
we will see in short. The first major amendment was taken place in 1991. That was the delegation of power. Under this this amendment, the central government has delegated his power, which are given in this act, to the lower officers and states. So this was the one more important amendment. Then just we will see the next slide. Please hold on.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir.
Computer, I think, has hanged, not playing this slide. Okay, just we will see. Now we have almost all we have covered this Environmental Protection Act, just we will see the 2-3 judgment, landmark judgment. Whenever this issue means points of discussion comes about the landmark cases or landmark judgment under the REIT jurisdiction, MC Mehta is the most famous lawyer or environmentalist who has filed so many cases on these environmental issues to the High Court and the Supreme Court. So first case was the MC Mehta versus Union of India Ganga pollution case. This case was filed by the MC Mehta. The case involved the pollution of Ganga river with industries releasing untreated sewage and chemical waste into the river. Judgment Supreme Court has delivered that directed the closure of several polluting industries along the Gangas and ordered the measure for river purification. This case is a significant example of public interest litigation in environmental laws, demonstrating the court's proactive stance in protecting the public health and environment. Next case was the MC Mehta versus Union of India 1987, that oleum gas case. And this oleum gas was leaked from the industry named Sriram Food and Fertilizer in Delhi, which was a dense populated area. So from this case, the Supreme Court has given a landmark judgment, and the principle of absolute liability was given from this case. The principle of absolute liability means whenever some damages or disaster happen, and suppose the director or the top management cannot deny his responsibility by saying that someone has taken the wrong action or someone has neglected it. Absolute liability has been given on the owner or occupier of that company. So this principle was came from this case, Union MC Mehta versus Union of India. Then third case was the Vellore Citizen Welfare Forum and Union of India. This case was also about the pollution of the river from different industries or tanneries, and Supreme Court has given the guideline or direction to close down the industries and to given a direction to install the effluent treatment plant for the tanneries. Also, the principle of precautionary principle and polluter pays principle has derived from this case, means whoever caused the pollution or damage, he is liable for the giving the compensation or damage. That is called as the polluter pays principle. Okay. Now, coming towards the last stage, so there are some challenges and opportunities for this Environmental Protection Act, because from 1986, almost we are about 40 years back, this act was enacted, and still we are facing the problem. Means the successful of this act depends on the certain opportunity as well as challenges. The first challenge would be the lack of resources from the Central Pollution Control Board and State Pollution Control Board. Then lack of public awareness about the environmental issues, resistance from industries to the environmental regulation, then political pressure to relax the environmental standard, and important next challenge was the corruption, which is enrooted in our entire system. So this is the most 4-5 challenges which are because of these challenges we are not able to get the success of this beautiful act or provisions of the act. Then opportunities, this environmental impact assessment we have just seen, which that project has to do the environmental impact assessment before starting, then public participation, then balance ecosystem and comprehensive coverage. Okay, to sum up this, as we are growing industries, or we are developing nations, and we are continuously growing on the industries. So as we are developing, means we are growing, we should not neglect the environment, and we should adopt the provision, the such system which are sustainable in the environment. So encourage the active participation from individuals, industries and government bodies to comply with the act provision, adopt the sustainable practices, and advocate for the further environmental protection measures. Means we should not just blame others for these issues, environmental issues. As a citizen also, we are also responsible. We should take steps from all the angles, means as a government, citizens and everybody as a surrounding. We should small steps, and we should play our important role so that we can achieve our this sustainability goal. Okay, thank you, friend. Thank you for listening. I tried my best level to give whatever the provisions are given in this Environmental Protection Act 1986. Thanks for listening also, and thanks Shailesh sir and his team members for organizing this beautiful lecture and giving me the opportunities for delivering the lecture. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It was really nice to listen to your act-related information, and we could understand the various provisions related to the environmental protection. Now, with this, we are at the end of this session. So now I request the participants, if you have any questions, you can please
If
ask.
suppose participants are there, means there, and they want to have any doubt, they can ask. Huh? So just for 5 minutes, it is up to them.
Yes.
Hello,
Please.
sir.
Yes, yes, please, sir.
Hello, sir. Myself, Dr. YP Chauhan. Sir, my question is that is any special provision act for environment is there for plastic waste management?
Now, just I have mentioned this plastic waste management and handling rule 2011. That is there, which is made under this Environmental Protection Act 1986 only.
Okay. Any amendments are there for plastic waste management?
2011, I think.
Last is the 2011. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes, Dr. Krishna, you are audible.
Looking into the scenario of the pollution level being enhanced, increasing year by year, even though you have so many rules, regulations, everything, implementation is very important factor here, which is not being considered seriously either by CPCB or state pollution control boards. Because especially state pollution control boards come under the guidelines, training and assistance of central pollution control board, as far as I know. In this matter, how about this plastics banning? Why they don't ban such kind of plastics or any hazardous materials once in a time? Ban them. What is the issue, sir? Why not they do banning?
No, this restriction are put on the plastics means and just on the depending on the thickness of the plastic, this plastic bags or something. Means if suppose above certain limits of thickness, these bags are allowed, which means under this act. Actually, as you have mentioned, the implementation is the real issue also, but as a means whole, it is the total system failure, including all of us also, because we should also raise our noise or our right, and we should also ask the local authorities, means why this means we suppose they are lacking or in the implementation part.
As you
Actually,
said, the challenges and drawbacks what are going ahead, like with corruption, political pressures, and all. Then I think it's very difficult to implement such kind of rules and regulations, which will be left behind in the books itself.
Now it depends on the political as well as our all everybody's will, because every means if suppose will is there, I think we can do it, but it is depend on the everybody's will and miss this success.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. It was very informative, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Yes, if any other question you can ask.
Shailesh ji? Hello?
Yes, sir, please, please.
Okay. If suppose no one is asking question, can we conclude now?
Yes, sir, we can definitely conclude. Now I request the session coordinator, Dr. Kirti ma'am, to please propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, all. It is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks on the behalf of School of Engineering Management and Research, D.Y. Patil International University, Akuri, Pune. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our guest speaker for sharing valuable insight and expertise. Your expertise on the topic has not only deepened our understanding of Environmental Protection Act, but also has inspired us to adopt the sustainable practices and contribute to a greener future. A big thanks to our coordinators of FDP, Dr. Utkarsh Maheshwari and Dr. Shailesh Ghodke for their continued support to organizing such a wonderful online FDP. I would also like to thank Dr. A.V. Patil, Director, School of Engineering, Management and the Research. Also thanks to the all participants for your active listening. Thank you one and all.
Okay,
Thanks
now
a lot.
thank you, sir. One
Thank you.
important
Thank you.
announcement to all the
Thanks a lot.
participants is that, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks for giving opportunity. As a miss, we are working in the industry, but day-to-day basis we do not deliver the lecture. But I tried my level best. Thanks a lot.
Sir, thank you so much. Your experience was speaking in different types of legislations which you are using nowadays for protecting the environment. So it was just about your knowledge and not about your uh, providing the online session. So it was indeed a fruitful and valuable session for all of us. We indeed enjoyed your session. So I'm thankful to you as a part of organizer.
Thanks a
Uh,
lot.
one, one small announcement to all the participants. Participants, the next session is going to start at 3:30 sharp. The link will be provided to your WhatsApp group. Next session will be taken by Mr. Anil Ranveer sir. He is working in Central Pollution Control Board of India. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you, Keshav sir.
thank you.
Good day, sir. Now I request participants to leave this meeting and join the next meeting, which is provided into your chat box.